So this is Baruch Fleischman here. I'm here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel, and I think this is the, let me see, this is the 17th Shir, the Tivuk Avonos, from the Rav Kodesh in ARI. So here we talk, this is called, let's see, Mikan Pascal Seder Shabbos, Shinui and Tefilos, changes in Tefilos. Now, the last thing that we learned when we learned the 16th Shir, even going back further, the Zohar that we learned today, for example, could really needed this, because over here we're really talking about the difference in Yehudim that take place between the 6 days of the week, the differences between the 6 days of the week and Shabbos. So here he came over and he actually really explained to us a great deal over here, but we have to hear it in different contexts, see it in different places, and then learn better how to pray and really get ourselves into position to make some changes in the spiritual world and ultimately changes in our world. So here, the drush here is on Shinui Tefilos. Let's go over here and let's get some other ideas about how we'll work this out. And this is where we stopped last time on number Lamed Tes, or just a read. As we said previously, the black print is the Ri himself, as quoted and actually is copied over by his Talmud, Chaim Vital. Says, so also when you're saying the Midah, you have to be careful about closing your eyes. Because Shlosha Tefilas Mamish, in each one of them, you should be praying with your eyes closed. Which is similar to what we said before, that he had this idea that the way that you're supposed to pray, and as I look around, especially in certain minyanim where everybody wants to pray with their hands really resting on their rear ends. It's really totally, completely opposite of everything Kabbalah is saying. So what you need to do is that a person needs to place his left hand over his heart and his right hand on top of the left hand in front of you, definitely not behind. So I understand there is an inyan over there, but it's not one that I favor, and I really don't understand it 100%. But it's similar to the clasping of the two hands over the heart, is what the Rav says. For inyan, the inyan is like this: you should close your eyes, make them shut. B'shachris, we should do it at chakras time, and you only do it in chakras and mincha at the time when you're doing the Shmona Esrei. But Tefilas Arvis, but at nighttime, Tista Menecha B'Kol Tefilah, not just in the Amida, but you should close your eyes in the entire Tefilah. Bebirchas Kriya Shema, whether we're talking about the brachos of Kriya Shema, Tefilas Amida, or whether we're talking about, in other words, before the Amida and after the Amida. Haino the Inyan Atzimas Anayim, and what we call about closing the eyes, who doim b'lechibak yadayim, it's similar to the concept that we put between putting the right hand on top of the left hand and holding it next to your heart. As we explained, this is the proper way to pray. So he says that this concept is similar to that. I'm not sure how it could be similar to that. You have a right side, which is the side of chesed, covering over the side of din, and hopefully easing the pain that comes from the dinim. But over here we have another concept of closing the eyes. This is the same idea. The heichon sheyesh chibuk yadayim, in the same place that you see the concept of the clasping of the hands together, b'shachvas of mincha, that you pray like that. Hayla b'tefilas amida, that is, you do it only at the time of the Shmona Esrei. Yesh bo gam atzimas anayim. So we have the same concept here. Let me just move things around a little bit, get everything straightened out. You have the same concept with the closing of the eyes. Lava arvis. Sheyesh b'kol ha'tefida chibuk yidayim gam lifnei Shmona Esrei. Now, I've been trying to do this, and I can't remember it 100%. So we keep reading it, keep trying it. He says that in Ma'ariv, he had said that yesterday in the last year that we had, number 16, he said that the entire tefillah of Arvis should be done with the hands clasped together over the heart. So he said that whole thing, apparently because it's such a dismal time, because it's a time of great dinim. So he says, if Arvish yesh b'kol tefilah chibuk yadayim gam lifnei Shmona Esrei, even before the Shmona Esrei. Kamo kain tzrichen la'atzor as anayim. So the same thing is we have to close our eyes. B'kol Tefilah, through the entire Tefilah. The entire Tefilah here, that in Shemona Esrei. And he's saying over here that it should be when you're saying before the Kriya Shema, during the Kriya Shema, after the Kriya Shema, and into the Amida, all of that, you should have your eyes closed. B'sod Tzimas Anayim. Now let's get to this. What's the secret of closing your eyes? Now, the Sabbath de Mishpatim is something that we're about to see in the Zohar that we're reading during the week. And we're going to start getting into the Sabbath. The Sabbath is, first of all, the Rishash points out in different places that the word Sabbath, the gematria, is 63, which is Samach, Bet, and Aleph. That's spelled in the Aramaic way. That Saba means 63. 63 is the divine name Sag. So he said, Vazel Lashona, this is what he said going on. Umahu olomisa shafirta, the lis le einin. So where do we see something so beautiful doesn't have eyes? What does he mean? So try to explain it. Who medaber be'inyan Rachel nukva dezer anpin. It's really talking about the eyes of Rachel imenu. He nikras olomisa. She's called the olomisa, and I'm trying to get the understanding of this word olomisa. Olamisa shafirta. Shafirta means beauty, beautiful. Kamo she'amar hakasav Rachel chaysa yafas Torah. She had a beautiful form. The yafas mara. You looked at her; she was gorgeous. Ha'avach la einin, but she has no eyes. Well, the fi shir komasan, according to how tall she is, who minachaz lamata the zer anpin, because her location is always from the back of zer anpin, from his chest going downwards. Ve'ein kanegda b'chinas enayim de zer anpin, because the eyes of zer anpin are not corresponding to her. Now it seems like the Rav is saying is that whatever she has, she gets from zer anpin, and if she's not lined up with that part of zer anpin, she doesn't get from there. Let's see what he says. Kedei lahamshik bechem aleho b'chinas enayim gam kein, because that's what you need in order to give her the concept of eyes. Let's look a little bit more. Said even though we understand that she has her position, it's just she's at his chest, in the back of him. Because this is the place, and you have to know this is a deeper little piece, is that, remember we talk about in Yesod of Ima, is carrying the Chasadim B'das and the Gevuras B'das within inside of her. And where does she empty them out? At the chest. So that's the same chest, which is the location of where Rachel Imenu's head is located in terms of zer anpin. The Lakach Nikras Rachel Yafis Torah v'Yafis Mara. So therefore she's called beautiful form, beautiful appearance. But there is no light coming from zer anpin, coming from his eyes to her, because they're not lined up. They don't reach the place where she is located. And for this reason, so therefore, since she doesn't line up with the source of the light that could build her eyes, she's not lined up with it, so therefore it's considered as if she has no eyes. And this is the shir here today. This is number 17. This is Baruch Fleischman at the Tikkun Elevator. Kolel.